Now that is red lentil bolognese made. How fantastic does that look? That is superb. The smell is incredible. Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today we're doing an absolute cracker. It's a vegetarian recipe. We're using red lentils. We are making a red lentil bolognese. This is a simple, easy recipe, delivers every time. Now we're using a couple of ingredients which you may not normally use. Okay, we're using red lentils, that's normal, but I'm using nutritional yeast. Not the yeast straight in there. I make my own nutritional yeast bolognese seasoning mix. And we're going to be adding a couple of tablespoons of that to our mix. Now, the nutritional yeast delivers 9 grams of protein per go. So it's giving us a protein kick in there with our lentils. That makes this dish super healthy. This is an easy recipe. Let's crack on and show you how to do it. Okay, we've got a couple of onions here, and we are just going to dice the onions any which way you want. Don't panic about cutting onions. We just want some dices. So just dice it up. And the only reason why we're dicing it, it's going in the pan. It's easier to cook. So just dice and put to one side, and then we're just going to smash and dice some garlic. Now I realise people don't always like garlic, miss it out. Garlic is just a little smashing over the top and a little chop through. We're not worried about it being too small. That's up to you. If you want to mince it up really fine, please do so. That's good enough. Now you can use any oil or butter that you so wish. I'm going to go in here with some butter, and I will be going in with some oil. So in we go with a little bit of olive oil, and then in there with your onions and your garlic. Yes, it's not on yet, but don't worry about that. We're going to take some carrots, and we want some little cubes of carrots in there. Now you can cube it as small as you like, that is up to you. Or you could put big chunks in. So just cube them up, nice and small. Now for our carrots, we're just going to put that in a bowl. In it goes. The bell pepper, we're going to use that. Gives us a little bit of colour in this. Again, we want some cubes. Everything's going to be diced. Okay, that's nice and straightforward. In it goes. Now I've got some washed mushrooms. So we want to be dicing our mushrooms or slicing. Now I don't go for very thin slices when I make anything, you know. I don't want it to dissolve too much in there. I like my slices a little bit thicker. So that's our mushrooms, and you can see they are quite thick. I don't go for the small stuff. So we just want a flame on. And we're just going to start sautéing that onion and garlic. Now we're not going to go too much on that. It's a very quick recipe. In there with a good pinch of dried oregano, a little bit of salt. That's just going to help draw out all that moisture from that onion And then when we add the mushroom, it's going to do exactly the same. And a little bit of pepper. I'm going in there with the mushrooms. The mushrooms are going to absorb most of that butter and oil mixture in there. So let's have that in there, let them soak it up. Don't forget they're like a sponge. It will soak it up before releasing its own moisture. So I just want a little bit of cooking on that in there. And I'm just going to chuck my pepper and carrots in there. Got a nice red colour forming already, look. And this is my nutritional yeast bolognese seasoning mix. Now there will be a link and a full recipe in the recipe section if you so want to make it. There's no hassle if you don't make it, you can miss it out. And I am just going to add just a little bit of smoked paprika just to bring that smokiness into this. Wow, this smells fantastic already. That is absolutely incredible. So a little bit of cooking on there. Let that mushrooms soak up some of that flavour. Just a minute or so, just stir frying it round, and then we're going to go in with our tomatoes and tomato paste. Tomatoes, I've got tin tomatoes in juice, obviously. Now if you had chopped tomatoes, just add the chopped tomatoes. If you've got, like I have, just chop up your tomatoes in the tin with a pair of scissors. Makes it a little bit easier without splashing all over the place. And add your tomatoes to your pan. Little stir in. We want to be adding 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Stir in. I'm just adding about half a tablespoon of sugar. Now that is going to counteract the sourness of the tomatoes. Work against that acidity. Okay, we're going in there with red lentils. Now you can rinse and wash, drain your red lentils, that's up to you. In they go. Okay, and then we add our vegetable stock. So we get our vegetable stock in, just stir it through nice and gently. We don't want all those lentils to sink to the bottom. Now what we're going to do is bring this up to the simmer and we'll put a lid on. It's going to take about 25 minutes to cook that, and then we'll take the lid off and cook it uncovered to thicken it slightly. On with the lid. Okay, we're going to cook that for about 25 minutes, but we're going to keep coming along and we're going to keep giving it a stir. We do not want everything to be stuck on the bottom. So that will cook that. The lentils are going to swell up inside there. They're going to absorb some of that fluid, which is going to reduce. Just keep an eye on it. You know, if you need to top it up with a little bit of water. There's enough goodness in there without worrying about any more stock. Just keep an eye. Give it a stir, 25 minutes, come along, just have a look at your lentils, see if they're done. And that's it. It's a simple cook. And then we'll take the lid off and we'll thicken it up by cooking it uncovered. Okay, it's time to come along now and actually start to cook this without the lid on. We need to start to thicken it up a little bit. Want a little bit thicker sauce and it should be perfect. All you've got to do is just remember to give it a stir through so nothing sticks on the bottom. That's all we've got to do. It's a very simple cook. Okay, and when you've got it nice and thick like this, that is absolutely perfect. That is a really nice bolognese sauce. What you need to do is just go in there with some freshly chopped basil. Now, of course, if you don't like basil, use parsley, or don't even bother putting anything in. It's entirely up to you, what herbs you like. And I'm going to keep a little bit back, just a sprinkle on the end. Stir it through. Now, this doesn't have to be in there that long. This is still going to give that lovely basil flavour through there. This is one of those herbs when you're using fresh that it's always best to put in the last couple of minutes before the end. You know, there's enough flavour in there to release into the dish. That way you don't make it overpowering. That is fantastic. It's just about the right amount of moisture in there, look, to give us that moisture when we're eating with our spaghetti. That is perfect. On with our water, bring it up to the boil, splash a bit of salt in there. Now, spaghetti is going to be cooked as per packet instructions. So in with your spaghetti. Okay, and when you've got your spaghetti cooked to how you like it, turn off the flame. Now you can either drain it all or leave it in there and serve from there. That is up to you. So what we're going to do, we're going to serve on the side, we're going to put spaghetti and the bolognese sauce, and then you can see both together rather than pile it all on top. Over there with a little bit of parmesan. So we've got the posh stuff on there, and then I'll tell you, we're just going to splash over a little bit of cheddar. Now you can do parsley or you can do basil. Now that is red lentil bolognese made. How fantastic does that look? That is superb. The smell is incredible. All we got to do now is give it a taste test. Look at that. That is superb. Look at that with all that melted cheese going in there. That is red hot. Let's give this a go. Oh, that is steaming. That is delicious. That really is delicious. Now you can mix it all together. You can eat it any which way you want. Of course you can. Oh man. Hoo-wee. That is really, really hot. Oh, you know, it's stuff like this, and I've said it before on this channel. You know, I'm not a vegetarian, but just occasionally, definitely once a week, I could eat anything like this. It is superb. That is absolutely superb. That is red lentil bolognese made. If you like what we're doing, don't forget, smash that like and subscribe, share with your friends, all that kind of stuff. Let's catch you in the next video.